All right, let's go over lane changes. So there's a few things you need to know about lane changes to be able to do it correctly. So say this is you here and you're driving on a road test and you're in the middle lane. The examiner says turn right at the next intersection. So student says okay, and they should start thinking, okay, right away I should signal, check my rear view mirror, my right side mirror, and perform a shoulder check. Okay, so your rear view mirror will let you know if the car directly is behind you. So this car here is signaling their intention to switch right? So if they are, maybe we don't want to compete for that space. So if you're looking into this rear view mirror here and you see the car behind you is picking up their pace, they're signaling to the right, then that means that they're interested in the same space as you, so you probably don't want to compete with them. Now, your side mirror here will let you know about cars present in the lane that you're interested in going into. But that's only going to tell you half the story or part of the story, okay? So it's going to show you the car further back here. So if this is you, it's going to show you this car. And if that car looks like this in the mirror, then it's likely back enough for you to be able to switch over, okay? But if you're looking at this car in this side mirror and you see that the car that was further back starts growing in your mirror, so it's going to it starts looking like this, then that's telling you that that car relative to you is speeding up, right? So if they're getting bigger and bigger, that means they are getting closer and closer to you, okay? And even worse, if they look like this, that means now they're way too close, right? And this is not the time to be changing lanes right now. You should wait for them to pass by and look for a safe gap, okay? But again, all of that, all of what we just talked about, looking into side mirror, is only half the story. So look at where it's showing you, right? It's showing you a little bit of the car possibly behind you, but it's showing you primarily the car further back in this lane. What it doesn't show you is the car that is riding right alongside you, okay, going into your blind spot or is in your blind spot. So that's why we actually have to turn our head around and look into the rightmost corner of our car if we're planning on switching over to the right. So we go signal, rear view mirror, side mirror, and shoulder check, okay? And the shoulder check to the right, in this case, will tell you about the car or cyclist that might be directly in your blind spot. Your mirror will not be able to show you this. This is why we need to turn our head around and look at the rear right door window if we are changing to the right, or the rear left window if we are changing to the left, okay? And the other thing is, once you've checked, so you've put your signal on, rear view mirror, side mirror, shoulder check, don't slow down the vehicle, right? So try to maintain your speed, because if you start slowing down unnecessarily, the distance between you and the cars in the lane you wish to enter may change. But remember not to speed up unnecessarily either, right? So sometimes students are busy doing a shoulder check, they're in a downhill incline, and they start picking up speed unnecessarily. On the other side, sometimes students, when they're doing a shoulder check, they cover the brake and they press the brake, right? So it's okay if you want to, as you're looking over to another direction, you switch over and cover the brake momentarily, but try not pressing the brake just because you're doing a shoulder check, okay? Those two things are separate from one another. You slow down or use the brake if you need to slow down, but you don't need to brake every time you shoulder check. And then finally, when it's time to switch over, right, no one is expecting you to suddenly change over. So perform a gentle glide over using 3 or 4 of the broken white lines to complete your maneuver, okay? So no one's expecting you to suddenly switch over. It's more predictable to other road users when you glide over. Now, there are certain scenarios, let's say in congestion, where everyone's moving really slow, you put your signal on, the car behind you has backed off and he's giving you a little bit of space to walk in or come in. So in that case, yeah, you can make a bit of a sharper turn. But if you're traveling at a higher rate of speed, you don't want to suddenly swerve, right? So no sudden movement on the steering wheel. Everything should be subtle behind the wheel. Now, lastly, but also important, is don't forget to cancel your signal in a timely manner after completing your lane change. Even if you plan on turning right shortly after, you should separate your signal between the maneuvers to avoid confusion for the cars behind you, right? So if you're in this lane and you signal right to do a lane change to the right, once you've come into this lane, cancel it before you signal to the right if you're going to be taking a right turn, okay? It's all about being predictable to other users, road users, and communicating with them properly.